Hello everyone, I'm Trisha, it's me Jenny. It's time for another not naked video response to Trisha Hershberger's series Naked Truth, where we talk as candidly and as truthfully as possible about a subject of her choosing, straight out the shower, wet hair, no makeup, first take, one take, and so on and so forth. Most people choose to do it naked, I choose not to, but either way it's not a sexy damn thing. It's a being vulnerable and honest and, you know, pushing your boundaries type thing. And today's subject is Pokemon Go, or Pokemon No, as Trisha so delightfully put it. And the quick response for that is Pokemon No for me personally. I watched Pokemon a little when I was a child, but it wasn't one of the TV shows that I watched a lot when I was growing up. I can remember it being a thing. I can remember watching Pokemon and then watching a bit of Digimon, but it was never really my thing. I would much rather rewatch one of the ballets that I had recorded, or watch Pride and Prejudice again, or any other Jameson adaptation. It just, when it came to activities that I did when I was a child, Pokemon never really played a big part of it, so I'm not too connected with the world and the universe, and I don't have that much personal investment in it. That being said, I know a lot of people who do. It's just one of those things that kind of passed me by. At some point I might rewatch the series now that I've kind of gained an interest in anime as an adult. I wouldn't mind rewatching the series. I've never been interested in the games. I've never owned any sort of handheld game device, so there's that. But when it comes to Pokemon Go as a concept, I think the health and safety and the legal and the moral implications of Pokemon Go are the same as any sort of new technology being in mass use. They're all the same concerns for any other spike in technology. I'm sure when mobile phones were started to use, there's the health and safety risks of people wandering into the street and driving and all of those things. There's the moral issues of, you know, using your phone in a place like a funeral parlour or in a graveyard, or on Holocaust sites. I'm sure when mobiles first came out it was a shocking thing to do, and you know, nowadays it's quite normalised, and I'm sure in 5 years time augmented reality games will be highly normalised, but there is also the need for procedure, like the no texting while driving law. Things like that do need to come into play, but it's going to be an adjustment, and as with any new type of technology, there's going to be people using it, misusing it, and abusing it in terms of, again, the legal implications. You know, the legal implications of when mobiles came out, you know, people being able to access your details or track where you're going, different ways of, if you're going to be one of those people that believes that anyone can see your information, there's a lot of information that you could get from your mobile phone, or your contacts, who you last called, those sort of things that now we're very normalised to, which is absolutely fine and brilliant and, you know, 21st century. But I'm sure when mobiles were first in use and when phone books could be put in mobile phones, again, legal concerns for that, and, you know, all of the other information that's on your phones. As technology improves, it's the same risk factors with each generation, but it's going to take a while to adjust to each leap. And augmented reality is that first big leap. When it comes to the positive and negative aspects of Pokemon Go in its own right, I think it's usually an incredibly positive thing. The outpouring of support that I've heard from the nerdy community of how they've suddenly gone outside and they've, you know, the older generation were like, oh, back in my day we used to play games in the garden and, you know, do water sports, and kids nowadays all they do is they stick around with their devices and they don't go outside and all those things. And that's exactly the opposite of what Pokemon Go is doing. It's getting people outside, it's getting them in sunlight, it's getting them socialising. It's everything that the older generation always complains that doesn't happen, and now they're complaining that it's happening too much. So I'm very happy with it. It's one of those things that I started playing D&D last year. I have started DMing now. I just finished doing my second session last night of my 4-part campaign, and I'm at the point where I can confidently talk about my nerdiness at work with my non-nerd friends. I can confidently say I have internet friends and I hang out with them on the internet, and that's a good interpersonal relationship for me. And I have nerdy friends that I play D&D with, and most of the time they're like, that's pretty cool, that's pretty awesome, I don't get it, but it's pretty awesome. And some, like, a reaction I've been getting a lot recently when I've been getting really excited to talk about D&D, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring in demons, it's going to be so exciting. And they're like, you need to get out more. And I find that so annoying as someone who's actively trying to get out more by going biking every week to go to the pub, a big social environment where I eat out with my friends and I roll dice and I play games and I socialise, and the reaction that I get from non-nerd friends is, you need to get out more. I'm like, how can I be more out? How can I be more out in the world than going to the pub on my bike and hanging out with fellow friends who get me? So, you know, and drinking and chatting and eating and, you know, all of those things that it's just one of those things. So I can understand the frustration of all the Pokemon Go players who are like, I'm being a nerd, but I'm being a nerd in a new context. So I can truly understand that frustration, even though I won't be one of the people who is playing Pokemon Go. And I can understand the risks, but again, I think it'll pass. Give it another couple of years and augmented reality is going to be so much the norm. We're going to have to adjust laws for health and safety, but we always will with new technology. So, you know, just give us a little bit of time to settle in. And Pokemon, good job. Good job! You guys are gonna make so much money! It's gonna be insane! But there we go. Thank you for watching. Hello Trisha! It's been a while if you're watching this, so I'm sorry it's been a while. And all the videos that are pouring in your direction right now, I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment and I'll see you guys all next week for another Naked Truth. And in the meantime for some videos of some kind. Bye!